Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm exceedingly sorry for my tardiness. Or, if you're not here yet, I appreciate you taking the time to, why are you late? So, yeah, no, I'm Brian. Take on my glasses. It's Friday, and, well, that means it's Golang. But before we do the Golang, just wanted to thank everybody for coming in, hanging out. Thanks to A. Nealon. Oh, I know A. Nealon. Thank you, Alan. Hello. Pretty by Poppet, who followed yesterday. Baron Brady subscribed with Prime during our interview with Lindsay Wolf, which I think actually went very well. Her discussion with us about Insider Threat was eye-opening. I actually didn't realize that Insider Threat could do more than just try to get people fired. So it's always helpful to see where other ways to help people can be done. So thank you everybody for coming today. And yeah, how's everybody doing this fine Friday? It is Friday. I'm the 21st of April, and I am officially, let me see, 1 week done. So one, uh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a half, 8.5 weeks, work weeks, like 50, 56 days, 63 days, I think, until we have left this place in Seattle. So looking forward to that. So next week, for those of you who do follow the stream, I'll do a Tuesday stream, and then I don't know what's going to happen next Friday. I'm going to be in Santa Monica at an event with my company. I'm as I've mentioned previously, so I'm gonna have to play it by ear on that. It's a Friday, so there's definitely some kind of team building event that we're going to be doing, and I may see my boss as well because he works in Irvine. So I'm going to be there doing something. I have made preparations. I very stupidly packed my backpack, so I had to buy a new one. It's in our. I have. It's in the storage unit somewhere, but I need one, and it's like I'm not going to go root around inside whichever box I decided to, for some reason, pack it in. It's also in the same place as my employee badge, so I can't actually go to the work places that are here in Seattle. I've told my boss that I was like, I've packed it. I know that it's in the storage unit somewhere in about 50 different boxes. I just don't know where it is. I had an idea that I wouldn't have to go into the office, and thankfully I don't have to go into the Irvine office at all while I'm down in Santa Monica, so I don't have to worry about that. But I got a nice new backpack. All these backpacks now have this ignorant little USB port thing on there, and I'm not a fan of that. It's got a cable in here, and it's like I'm thinking about snipping that because I don't see a need for it. So I think I'm gonna yank it out or snip it or something because they all have this, and I'm not a fan. I have I have my battery pack, so I don't need that. So anyway, so I've got a portable monitor, and I'll probably take the SLR and everything with me. But yeah, so looking forward to meeting some new people on my new team. I'm being asked to do some work with regard to. Let me see what I got running up here. Okay. Do I have? Okay, everything's off there. Right. Here. All right, so we will switch over. There is the browser. There is my VS Code. As you can see, I've done nothing to change the environment. I want to make sure that those of you who are here for Golang are knowing that we're going to do some Golang. I just make sure that we're aware of that. So move everything over. But yeah, so interesting new thing that my bosses have suggested highly that I get involved with. I don't know why, if it's because, wait a minute, I kind of do know why. I have some feedback. Wait a minute. So we did our yearly reviews, which happen normally in about March, and Some of them are kind of funny, but let me see. Oh, I must have closed it. Anyway, there were several. It was like, hey, Brian does a really good job. He definitely comes in and makes a difference. One of the ones I liked the best was Brian asks what appear to be naive questions, but are amazingly thought provoking. And I was like, naive? What do you mean naive? I don't know the fucking answer to these things. It's like, I'm asking the question because I don't know myself. So it was kind of funny to see that. But my whole point of asking some of those naive questions is I want to make sure that our team, being the manager or helping with those teams, is that we're seeing things from our customers' point of view, which would be other internal teams, external parties, etc. So when I'm asking those questions, I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of, well, I guess it's I I don't mean this negatively, but I'm trying to be the lowest common denominator, the most difficult customer, the laziest security certifier in this case, the worst human being trying to use your system possible. It's a threat model of type, except I'm just trying to figure out where the process can go wrong, where the workflow can go wrong, what kind of questions they're going to ask. Our input not, if I'm answering this question as somebody who has no idea as to what's going on, first time I've ever looked at this, what am I reading into this? And then I guess it's thought provoking, but sometimes it's like, I really would like to know the answer too, because sometimes I don't know those answers. So it's I think we're all good at threat modeling. I just think that we assume a specific thing as threat modeling, and therefore we do not. Hey, Digital Warhead. Hey. I'm not clicking that link. What do you want me to click that link? I got hover over, so it says it's Friday. Then it's. I will not click on Cousin Skeeter's. It's Friday. Then it's Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. Um, I don't know if everybody can highlight over those links, but yeah, it looks like every YouTube link now will give you at least a preview before you click on it. Sorry. So yeah, I'm glad you're here, Digital Warhead. Appreciate you coming and taking some time. So, but I think a lot of us sometimes we think, well, threat modeling has to be a specific thing, when in fact we do our own types of threat modeling. We ask the what if questions. What could happen, what could go wrong. If I jump out of this plane without a parachute, what if heading to Shelton for the weekend for the Olympus rally. Okay, very cool. It's going to rain, isn't it? Oh, maybe. We can't seem to get out of the 40s up here. I think it's going to get better when I'm in Santa Monica, and then I'm going to come back here and it's going to get cool again. But yeah, so anywho, for all of you viewers plus any lurkers out there, those who lurk, appreciate you for lurking as well. Feel free to join us inside the fun of, oh my God, there I am. Hello, hi. I didn't realize I was blocking my own screen, so let me shrink up my VS Code window. There we go. Maybe I don't need to have such a big picture on here. There we go. Oh yeah, see, I'm like taking up like a third of the screen. So let me futz with this for a little bit. Yeah, I hope everyone. Hello, Walt. How are you doing? Hey, CPO Parker. How are you? Looks like I need to upgrade Go as well. So. Yeah. Please open external website. What are we on? I thought I updated 1.20.3. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I have a one by after the name. So let me run this update real quick. Apologies for doing this. I'm not saying anything would be different. Do you know who Ken Block is? I do not know who Ken Block is. Ken, am I gonna regret Googling? Ken Block, American Rally driver with Hoonigan Racing Division. Is it that Ken Block or monster trucker hat, glasses, resting duck face. He's got duck face. There's his duck face. I'm if it's not him, let me know there, Digital Warhead. But oh wait, let me run next. Yes, uninstall this version of Go. Next. It's going to ask me for UAC, so it might drop off the screen here for a second. Come on, hurry up. Oh, yeah, install. There we go. Come on, give me the UAC prompt real quick. He died in New Year's Eve this year. Wow, man. Come on. At the Olympus rally, his wife will be driving and competing in the rally car. Oh, I didn't know what Olympus was. I thought it was like maybe one of those Tough Mudders or something like that. So, well, that's cool. It's nice that his wife will be competing. That's is it like a 24-hour kind of rally car event, or is it? I mean, what kind of deal is there? Okay. OlympusRally.com. Hmm. Oh, Dirtfish. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are you gonna be in my neighborhood? I think you might be. Dirtfish had a driving school up here in the Snoqualmie area. So, oh, Shelton. Okay. Olympus Rally, Shelton, Washington. Okay, yeah. Dirtfish has a driving school or something up here in the Snoqualmie area near Seattle. So, I just remember seeing that. All right, so it's validating the install. They still do in Snoqualmie. Yeah. I've not been out there, and I know they're doing a lot of big development in that area because it's one of the last places you can develop stuff. So this area won't look the same in about a decade, I think. So come on. Updating component registration. So to give everybody who's watching and please get to the Golang. Appreciate the get to the Golang thing. Nobody said that privately, but if I was coming to watch a stream about Golang, I would want to see freaking Golang, not white dude talking about things that aren't Golang. So I like the Olympus Rally stuff. That's kind of interesting. I've always been interested in different kinds of sport that isn't the big four here in the U.S. Pickleball apparently has gotten big recently. Really good marketing on those folks right there. Bravo to them because pickleball started here in the Seattle area. They did a little vignette about it. This will be my 13th year going. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Okay. Yeah. Are you competing? Are you just attending? No, well, just are you attending to Is it like NASCAR but with dirt track? Come on, man, hurry up. I only have 120 gigs of RAM. Why and 12 cores? There we go. Copying new files. I might actually be going to my first DEF CON, so what's not to love at this point? So I volunteer. Oh, well, there you go. That makes sense, Digital Warhead. Volunteers with the rally to help run radio comms. Well, yeah, given your background, given your talks on, various radio types, makes sense. I am Archon064. I don't know where in the Seattle area you are. Up until about a couple of months ago, I was running a local meetup called CSEC East, which you can follow on Twitter, where actually I think they announced Fremont. Okay. I think we had the new organizers have announced the May update. I think we're going to be in Bellevue at the food court there. So if you're interested, we have plenty of seats, so there's no head count required. But if you want to come and hang out, I'm one of the original organizers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to build back up the community since pandemic killed it, and we were doing some stuff virtually. There used to be over 700 people in this, but we decided to get rid of some folks that may not be in the Seattle area. signed up but never RSVP'd. So we got down, I think, to about 105, and then we've gotten some more folks. So yeah, feel free to go sign up for that if you want. There's no fee, as the original owner of the meetup and one of the original organizers. I didn't charge anything. I don't know what the new organizers are going to do, so stand by to stand by. And I don't think they've mentioned fees, but there might be some opportunities there for that. So we're going to be at Crossroads Mall in Bellevue. Plenty of parking. It closes at 9 o'clock, so you're not out too late. So many food options in there. If you tell me, oh, I don't eat this, well, then you've got about 15 other options there, including things like boba and what have you. So, and there's plenty of seating. So, come and join us and come and hang out. Yeah. Yeah. Digital Warhead's been there a few times, more than a few times. Walt, of course, has been here. Walt, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming and hanging out as well. Walt is a great member. Has been a long time member as well. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started because I think everything is done. I might have to stop and start my VS Code again so that it will see the Golang bits because I uninstalled and reinstalled Golang. Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. Yes, excellent. All right. So it sees the 1.20.3. Okay. All right, let me save everything because I'm probably going to get rid of all of this. So something recently that just came up in it. What is this? Okay. One of the other things that have come up recently is I've been asked to help create some training for entrepreneurs and startups. Talking about, one of our friends, one of our colleagues that I've known for a while is starting a limited web series about startup stuff, and it's kind of where intersecting with some stuff I want to do in San Diego as well, working with some entrepreneurs and getting involved in that startup space, not as a startup, but helping out with that. So building some basic education for startups, and it's legal privacy stuff, like incident response. There's some security stuff, and she's asked me to make a 30-minute discussion on that. So I may wax philosophically about it on the stream here, but then I'll polish it up potentially and make it a proper discussion. So anyway, let me close that. And all right, so hello all. Hello 5 viewers and many lurkers. Appreciate y'all. Oh, son goes to Bellevue High School. Excellent. Okay, so you know exactly where the food court is, or should have a general idea of where the food court is. Hope you'll come out and join us. Everybody is welcome, even if you're not in information security. Love having different points of view. Would love to see some more developers out there. Some folks in leadership. We're fairly informal. We're very informal. Shit. And so would love to see people coming out just to hang out. Maybe ask questions about stuff from security if security's not your forte or you're looking to break into security. And I know Matt and Ted would definitely like to continue building this even after I leave. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing down in San Diego. There are several meetup groups down in that area, but I'm going to be joining them. Maybe for the first time in my life, I won't be organizing it for one of the first times. So it will be a different kind of thing to just kind of go with the flow on those kinds of things. There's a DEF CON group down there. Of course, TorCon goes on down there when Tor Camp is not happening up here. So it's going to be a good time. So, all right. So without further ado, okay. So let me see. How am I going to do this? Can I do that? I'm just shoving screens all over the place here. Apologies for that. Okay, good. We got the bits that we need on the screen here. So I've heard about WebAssembly for a while. If you go, let me see, WASM I think was the first thing I'd ever heard of. Yeah, WebAssembly here, webassembly.org, which, and I've heard about this. Oh, I don't know, about 5-6 years ago. It's not a new technology if I remember correctly. It's WebAssembly. It's a binary instruction format for a stack-based virtual machine. WASM, I say WASM. You may call it WASM or something. I don't know. Is designed as a portable compilation target for programming languages, enabling deployment on the web for client and server applications. So basically, it's an executable that you can point to in your web server that will run and be interpreted by the browser. And I'm guessing it runs in browser. Again, as you can see, I don't know a lot about it, but you know, one of the tutorials on is it Tutorial Edge? Yeah, I guess we could do Tutorial Edge. I was working on some of the Go stuff here, but you know, you can always switch off and move back and forth between these. I will say that if you're finding value from my streams about Tutorial Edge stuff, maybe you throw the Tutorial Edge folks some fat loot or something. You know, Funk Main is still available for 25% on premium courses. So if you want to extend your knowledge of Golang and other things here, use the Funk Main and get 25% off. They don't ask me to do that. I'm just saying, you know, they're making it possible for me to learn Go free, and so that's cool too. Yeah. So, if you're in Fremont, there's another great meetup in Wallingford. Oh, well, there you go. Didn't know about that one, Digital Warhead. Good job. Excellent. All right. So, according to Elliot, with Go.1.11 having been released, of course, we're now up to 1.20.3. So, you know, this was written in 2018, but everything should still hold, right? Okay. I thought it would be awesome to see how we can write our own Go programs that compile straight to WebAssembly. Oh, I know Ben. Yeah. Ben is awesome. All the Milliways folks are awesome. Every year they bring food to our event, and every year they still do not allow me to pay when we were doing InfoSec Campout. And every year I have to find ways to slip them, you know, 20, 40, 60 bucks into various places in their kit that they will find eventually and have that money. So they don't know that, but well, they might now, but yeah, it is what it is. So Go.1.11 has been released with an experimental port to WebAssembly included. So in this case, I'm imagining that you compile these binaries in a certain way that is different than using like GCC or something that would make it more friendly to web. And it formats it in such a way that can be interpreted by the browser itself or however it runs. So in this article, we're going to be building a really simple calculator to give us an idea on how we can write functions that can be exposed to the front end. Oh, I've been digging the synthwave stuff just recently, so there we go. Yeah, very nice. Okay, very nice. Let me grab that. I like the purple color. Let me close that and go to Hot Player. And open files. All right, cancel. Open Earl. There we go. All right. Now, 1 second. There it is. Right, bastard. There we go. There we go. Synthwave is produced by Lo-Fi Girl, so if you have a chance to thank Lo-Fi Girl for your listening pleasure here at Lo-Fi Girl is supplying the music today. Shout out to Lo-Fi Girl. I'm just gonna sit here and do the head bob thing. All right. Anyway, so in this article, we're going to be building a really simple calculator to give us an idea on how we can write functions that can be exposed to the front end, evaluate DOM or I said domain object model, but I don't think that's it. Document object model. That's what the DOM is. Put some links in here for y'all. Would you like to know more? That kind of thing. And subsequently update any DOM elements with the results from the functions we call. I won't lie to you. I've been doing security for a long time, and every time I see the DOM, I'm still confused as to what the DOM does. DOM XSS is all over the thing. The best way that I feel like, and I'm describing it, and if I get it wrong, I'm sure somebody will tell me. The DOM is like, it's almost like a modified spreadsheet or something like that. It tells you what the document, or in this case, like it says, it's a programming interface for web documents. It represents the whole page. So it's like the style sheet is inside the document. The DOM basically gives you the boundaries of what, almost like a spec doc in terms of what a web page is capable of, or what it's possible to do, and it sets what various elements inside. It's almost like XSLT for XML files. XML style sheets is written in XSLT, and it supplies the properties, what's available. So the P, the H tags, and what have you. So and it defines what those are outside of the style sheet. It's almost like you have your larger style sheet, and then inside you have a smaller style sheet, and then even with style sheets inside of HTML pages, you can specify at and override at the the P tag. So it's like here on this P tag here, you can set a global definition of what to do when you see a P tag, but you can also go P and then say color equals red. Like if out of all of the other paragraph tags, you want this one to have red text, it'll be red or something like that. So it's almost like it's the spreadsheet that exists outside of the document itself. And there's plenty of stuff to discuss here on this. This is I just looked this up, but this looks like there's a lot of good discussion here and a lot of being able to access the DOM and what have you. And I guess that's what we're going to be doing today with our Golang example when I finally get to it. All right, so this is a video tutorial on building the calendar. If you want a more professional video, go watch that one. Otherwise, you can stay here and watch me fuddle through learning how to use Go and WebAssembly and document object models and what have you. But so what does this really mean for Go and web developers? Well, it gives us the ability to write our front-end web apps using the Go language and subsequently all cool features such as its type safety, Go routines, and more. Okay. I mean, that's one reason we're learning Go, right? It's safer to use than some scripting languages. Type safety, of course. I think we've looked at it before, but programming language control that ensures that any variable access only its authorized memory locations in a well-defined and permissible way. So you can go look at that as well. Anyway, so now this isn't the first time we've seen the Go language used for front-end purposes. Go for JS has been around for a while and it's pretty damn mature. However, the difference is the Go compiles. It compiles Go code. To JS. Oh, interesting. So Go for JS will. I see. Interesting that it actually is Go for JS is like an interpreter from Go to JS, whereas Go can compile to WebAssembly. So that's interesting. Okay. All right, simple exercise. Example. Let's start out with a simple example, and we'll output hello world in the console whenever we click a button in our web page. Sounds exciting, I know, but very quickly build this up into something more functional and cooler. All right, well, let's make this a thing. Let's get after this. Tutorial, new folder, Go WASM, and then new file. Go wasm.go. All right, so we're gonna, let's see, package main, func main, funky. All right, and then print lin println hello world. All right, so we've done that. We've done everything we need to do. Here's our screen. Get rid of this. We're going to go cd /go wasm. There we go. Everything's in there. All right. So once we're done and we put package main, func main, println hello world, which means we're just going to print hello world. To compile this, we're going to have to set our architecture to WASM and our goose. So set goose to JS. I don't know what goose is. Let me see. GOO. Goose. No, it's not Canada Goose Holding. God damn it. Demon birds actually have stock. Damn it. Goose. All right. So Goose and Go Arch. Here we go. So all Goose values. So AIX, Android, Darwin, Dragonfly, FreeBSD, Herd, Illuminos, iOS, JS, Linux, Knackle, NetBSD, OpenBSD, Plan 9, Solaris, Windows, ZOS. So it looks like so Go OS, Goose. Okay, it's not. It's not good. It's not Goose. It's Go OS. Okay, all right. So, oh, God. Okay. Okay, I'll hook you up there in a second. There. Thank you, Archon064. I saw your response. Thank you for joining our community up here. Anyway, so the architecture in this case would be. The architecture would be like the processors. So obviously 386, AMD 64, ARM 64, MIPS. So it allows you to compile based on what instructions are necessary to make it run on that. So in this respect, like there were some things like on some of the surfaces back in the day, if you got like a Windows S like Surface, it runs on an ARM processor, right? So things that you would build on there for Go could be compiled with ARM and run on ARM, or you could compile it and then it would work on my regular machine. So that's kind of cool. All right. Anyway, so Go Arch and Go OS have to be set thusly. So let us go. We're looking for Go Arch equals WASM, so WebAssembly, and that's the OS or the instructions needed to compile this. So it's almost like it's a processor in and of itself, and you're writing it into some kind of browser machine code available for the web. And then Go OS Goose. That's gonna be good. That's fun for the playbooks. All right, Go, and then -O, and we want it to be out. The out function is going to be a WASM file. So Go WASM, and then main.go. So in this case, we want lib.wasm, and then file we want to use is gowasm.go. Control S, I'll save that, and then go wasm.go. So there you go. All that's good. So if I did it correctly, and I'm seeing something odd here and something different here. So I'm hoping that this actually still works. Oh! Go arch wasm is not recognized as the name of a commandlet function. Huh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so I've pooched it. This may not be a good example. Let me go see. Compiling Go WASM. Let's see. There's some examples here. Okay, so yeah. Create a main.go, add the following code to it. Break down the functions. Yeah. Okay, so they've switched it. Go build -o static main wasm command main wasm. Okay, so let's reverse it. Go OS equals JS. Go arch wasm. Go build -o lib wasm. Go wasm.go. No. You know what? I'm gonna close this and I'm gonna start the terminal over again because I've had that one open for a long time. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I also think that there's some janky stuff going on here. So Golang tutorial. Okay, cd go wasm. Okay, cd. What was the directory structure? Go-wasm. Interesting. Golang tutorial. Okay, cd tutorial. Go. There we go. And then when was this written? This was written in April 2022, so I'm beginning to think maybe I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so they're doing okay. So prime example of maybe things don't work right, or maybe there's a different way of doing things. So let me set that. I'm gonna add that to our chat window. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna set go arch equal wasm. Go os goose equals JS. Okay, I've done that. Now, the big issue was that it says these, goose was not recognized as a commandlet function script file or what have you. So I've set these variables in the environment that I'm in, which is the Go wasm directory. So I should be able to just create or just run. Should be able to run the command that we were trying to run earlier minus all the additional environmental variables. As it mentioned here, so we set these already. So these are already set. We don't have to ask for them. That may be what happened. It's like you need to set these variables and then run this. So it's probably a better option anyway. So let me go and grab that. All right, so now we need to go build -o lib wasm and then go wasm.go. No errors. I'd love some kind of progress meter or something. Maybe a verb. Okay, there it goes. Okay, all right. So we got All right, so we got a lib.wasm in there. Ooh, that's a hefty file. Oh my god. Okay, so func main weighs 1.2 megs, or a func main of hello world weighs 1.2 meg. That's a lot. So interesting. Error loading workspace. Go PLS was not able to find modules in your space. Okay. At some point we'll figure that out and get rid of that. But all right. So yeah, it's a fat little hello world from what it came from 59 bytes all the way up to 1.2 meg. So I'm assuming it's a lot of boilerplate on the front end that tells everything how to incorporate it, and then there's still that 59 byte thing over here that says hello world. So it is what it is. Oh, plus the package main probably is fairly weighty as well, I guess. So I don't know why it's saying Go PLS not able to find modules in your workspace. Interesting. All right, so I still have that in here, right? Yeah. Okay. Initial commits plus binary sync. Somebody trying to hit me up. Don't they know it's Friday? You're not supposed to do any work on Fridays. I guess I shouldn't be committing to say anything. Kill the mic on that real quick. Shut it down. Okay, so let me see. This command should compile our code into a libwasm file within our current working directory. We'll be using the webassembly.instantiate streaming function to load this onto our web page within our index.html. Note, this code was still borrowed from the official Go language repo. All right, so at least they're giving attribution where necessary. All right, so because, and I don't do this often, but because this is not fun with HTML writing time, I'm going to copy paste this, but I do want to walk through some of the what appears to be some Go code that's inside of here, including some functions and some script stuff. So I do want to go through that new file, index.html. All right, there we go, and paste. All right, so close that. And close that. All right, so we have 46 lines of code. Doc type HTML. Not the best doc type to use. There are better doc types you can use for like strict XHTML. So like a strict doc type statement. Yeah. I think, yeah, DTD, I think this is the one you want if you're going to be making one for strict, file. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. There you go. That's the new hotness for HTML5 and beyond. That's old people. Back in my day, when we were using HTML 401, this is what we used and we liked it. So yeah, or, I was using XHTML 1.0 or 1.1. Yeah, those were all the new hotnesses. These were the ones that you wanted to use because strict, it was, yeah, my bad. Okay, so for HTML5 and beyond, it's just doc type HTML. Okay. Things change. We must learn to change with them. Now, this one has all uppercase HTML. This has lowercase HTML. I don't know if it'll make a difference. I imagine it won't. But, just understand that. All right, so meta character set. So it's setting a meta characters. You can actually delete that if you wanted to, and it'll default to whatever the browser uses, which I'm assuming this day and age is probably UTF-8. But you may have somebody from internet, IE6 out there that's still using ISO what, 8851-16 or something like that. It's one of those numbers. Or, you know, using a different character set completely from, or special characters, or, if it's, I believe, the Chinese, the Mandarin set, or the, any kanji stuff is going to be different there too. But I think UTF-8 covers all of those. So, all right. So script, if WebAssembly.instantiate streaming, polyfill. So WebAssembly.instantiate streaming equals async. So a lot of this is JavaScript, I believe, as well. That I am not privy to. So there might be some need for you to go back and learn some rudimentary JavaScript as well. Constant go equals new go. Okay, let mod and inst. All right. Let's go back to the tutorial here. We'll also need to copy the wasm exec file.js from misc./wasm. Okay. After the fact, we find out about that, by the way, but that's fine. All right, get my terminal up here. New terminal. Golang. All right, so CP. All right, CD tutorial go wasm. All right, so CP go root I see. We're gonna go root miss wasm exec.js and period. So for those of you not aware, we're going to copy from wherever the Go environment variable for Go root is. So it's going to be like C:\program files something, and that's where Go's binary exists, and then miscellaneous wasm execute, and then it's just going to copy it to this go-wasm directory. All right, so what we should see now is, there you go, there's your wasm.js. It's a 16K file. So we have that, and of course now we have it into, we're going to be pushing wasm exec.js up as well. So new fixes plus wasm exec JS. Oh, I see. Cancel. Let's go back to index. Oh, okay. Save that. There we go. Okay. So we also have simple net. Oh man, I hope we're gonna have to copy that shit in too. We also have a simple net HTTP based file servers. Again, borrowed, not stolen, from here, which is GitHub. Okay, so this is the Golang Go GitHub with all of the WASM goodness in it. And various other WebAssembly files. So we have package main. We're going to import something called flag, something called log, and the net HTTP dependencies or modules in this case. The variables we're going to listen is equal to a flag string for listen on port 8080, and it's the listen address, and then dir is going to be equal to the flag.string. This is the what do we call those? That's down. You leave for 2 weeks and not do any Go, and then you come back and you forget everything you've learned. So slices. It's a slice. It's a slice. Slices are like arrays, except they can be changed on the fly, so you can add more or less to them. They're not static, they're dynamic. So the directory is going to be dir. The dot would be the present working directory, and this is the directory considered to serve these files up. So in this case, for our the directory for that would be G, my drive, GitHub projects, Golang tutorial, Go WASM, whatever. Apologies for the space in my file name for my directories. I do, in fact, now hate myself because I'm sure that that's going to cause us any number of issues later on down the line. All right, and then func main flag.parse, so it's parsing out the various flags, listening on %q with the listen tag, so it's listening on, and then it's looking for, you know, one or more of these items here, and then log fatal, so listen and serve, listen. So if there's an error message, it will pull whatever directory that it's attempting to run these things from, and also say, you know, unable to listen on port 8080 because of what reason. So let me go and make that real quick. I wonder what we're going to call it. And various other WebAssembly files. Okay, so let's see. Where's the libwasm run button? So there's going to be a button or something on the site that you're going to be able to click, and then when you do that, it's going to say hello world. That's what's going to end up happening here. Wasm exec.js. Is that what wasm exec? Oh, you know what? I think this is wasm exec.js. I just haven't opened it yet in the. Let me open that up and see what it looks like. There we go. All right. So we have. Oh, there's a whole mess of things here. 1 second. All right. So you have different commands. You have lstat, makedir, open, read, readdir, read link, rename, rmdir. Wow. Okay, so this has got a lot going on in it. New error not implemented, ENOSys. Okay, enhanced gnosis maybe. Use strict. That's always good to see in JS. That's about all I remember from my rudimentary JavaScript classes back in the day. Okay, global responses. Get UID, get GID, enhanced GID, UIDs, get groups, UMask. Wow, it's pulling a lot of stuff. Global this, not crypto. Okay, I'm string functions. I think we may be adding this to our existing. I'm trying to figure out where we're putting all this stuff. I'm thinking we're putting all of this in another Go file, but I find that hard to believe because it's asking for package main here as well. This sucks. I wish this was. Okay, let me do this. Okay, tutorial h.net. So I'm watching the little video with closed captioning on because I don't want to butts up any audio bits. Haven't been released. Yeah, experimental port. Minko. Yeah. Great. Okay, so WebAssembly underscore. I'll have to watch this. I would have watched this, but I didn't think this was actually going to be that difficult. So, still a little fuzzy as to where we're going to put this. So we have async function run, await, go run installation. hold on a little bit here. For this to work, we have to modify the JavaScript code within our index.html to run our program instance as soon as it's fetched. Load this up in your browser. Once again, you should see that without any presses. Okay, so there's registering functions. These functions take an array of js.value and use JS global set function to set output equal to the result. Oh my god, this is more JavaScript than I expected to see, to be honest. Damn it all. Makes me almost want to go find another WASM tutorial here. Did anybody have any experience with the tutorial edge, like the WASM stuff? I mean, there's only 7 people plus lurkers, so if you haven't, that's fine. Thankfully, not too difficult, according to whom, in this case. I don't want to make a more complicated example. I would just like to make one that actually works the first time. So I'm trying to figure out where you're putting all of this. Am I putting this in the hello world that I just created? Because it feels like I should do that. This command should compile our code into a libwasm file within the current working directory. We'll be using the instantiate function, WebAssembly instantiate function, to load this into our page within our index.html. Okay, so here's the index.html. This code was stolen from the Google repo. Yeah, here. We'll also need to copy the wasm exec file, which I've done so. That's completely different and obviously not this down here. And we also have a simple file-based server, again stolen from here, to serve up our index.html. Is the WASM? Running tests in the browser. You can also use WASM browser test to run tests inside your browser. Automates the job of spinning up a web server and uses headless Chrome to run the tests and relay the logs to your console. Rename that to Go.js WASM exec. Oh, okay. Building a calculator with Go and WebAssembly. Crap. Okay, even the Golang people mention the assembly code bits from Tutorial Edge. Damn it. Okay, so that's helpful. Age of Music, yeah. There's full stack is full of shit. Now I'm a bun stack developer. Oh no, what's a bun stack? I don't know what a bun stack is. See, I'm not a developer, so if that was a developer joke, I didn't get it. That's how you know I'm not a developer. I didn't get that joke. It's okay though. Oh, top and bottom, you could give a shit about. Yeah, exactly. It's a shame. God, I didn't want to get in this far and not be able to figure this shite out. So we have a simple server stolen from here. Okay, let's say we want to create a more complex example that features DOM manipulation. Okay, maybe there's some more examples down at the bottom here that will tell me what I need to do to get all this shit to work. Oh my God, I'm not even to the subtraction function yet. Okay, all right, so, oh, and conclusion. Okay, great. Wait, he didn't even give us a full calculator. All I can do right now is subtract. What about, well, multiply and divide is really just iterations or, speeding up of of addition and subtraction. So, hope you found this article useful and interesting. The problem is, Age of Music, you only care about the top and the bottom. It's probably that shit in the middle could be really shit, right? And it's either soggy or look, Adrian, I don't want to editorialize on somebody who's created something that people are going to use elsewhere. That's a good answer. I'll use that. If anybody who uses Go here and is like, all the Schadenfreude of somebody, I'm just a TPM for fuck's sake. I'm not allowed to, make decisions on my own. So, you know what? There's got to be a better tutorial out there, or another tutorial that will give me like additional context. So, the one thing I have learned is you can't just, you don't use one data point when you're doing things like OSINT. You're always going to be researching and finding other ways of doing things. People will have other ways of doing things. We've shown examples of other ways of doing things, including where this actually worked and the original example in his didn't work. So let's try this one. It says intro to WebAssembly in Go. So let's continue moving this way down here. All right, so so let's assume that we've done to this point, because really that's all we've done. We copied the HTML file, of course. You know what? It almost looks like somebody copy pasted the example from that guy Tutorial Edge to this here. This is the exact same file from the Go website. So, all right. Okay, you'll set up the server with the HTTP package. So let me. Okay, the HTML code is from the Go authors for instantiating a WebAssembly stream that connects your Go app to the web page. Starting a web server to run the page. You'll set up. You just set it up. Okay. Okay, so the net HTTP package. All right, so it does sound like that we're supposed to add some bits in here. So we need to add these or import these items to our original GoWASM Go script. That's what it sounds like, the way I'm reading this. So let's go back to the one that I'm currently working with right now. So, wow, this person didn't even bother to have you create one. So, unless it's on a previous page. Okay. So we'll copy the JS. Yeah, they didn't even make the hello world bit. So okay, so the website, starting a web server to run the page, HTML. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so they did this. They just did not add the hello world bit. Really weird. Wow, so they left out the first part and added the second part? Interesting. Yeah, see, they've got the libwasm in here that they were talking about earlier. There's just they don't mention the libwasm as the system here. Let me go back and see if they created something. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, shit. Is this gonna be one of those examples where it's like, we learned like what happened with SpaceX yesterday? We learned how to not land a rocket or how to fly a rocket. We learned how to not fly a rocket. Go look at what TinyGo is talking about with these things. So yeah, for all of our viewers here, I guess this is part of being a developer. It's not glamorous in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so package main. This calls a JavaScript function from Go. Oh, I guess I should pull that over. Sorry. Not every screen is, so we're looking at WebAssembly on tinygo.org. So let me grab that link. All right. So package main, all right, so that's like the package main that we have here. Function main, println, adding 2 numbers, add 2 and 3, expecting 5. Okay, so that's our function main, that's our println. Here's our adding function, okay, and our multiplication function. and related JavaScript. Okay, so we're going to build this. We're not going to use TinyGo because we've already created that. And they're using friggin' okay, so thinking that we do need to add all of that here from all right, so we want to import so I know that was not directed towards me, the four-letter T word that you use there, Digital Warhead. I will allow it. You know, it's one of those things. CEO's a hot mess, but I mean, I can't discount a lot of good work that people who work there are doing. Some people do want to change the world, and you know, if they're playing the long game, and it's like at some point that person may screw up, it's okay. They're Digital Warheads, all right. We are an adult stream. I don't make any bones about that. But you know, there are some people playing the long game, right? And Elon may not be here next year, and SpaceX will continue on, or it'll get bought by somebody else, and it'll improve, and it'll be better. People are still using Twitter. I use Twitter. I don't have a choice but to not use Twitter. So yeah, I mean, there's, some people are playing the long game on this, and space isn't going anywhere, and Elon will. So he is a disruptor in some good ways or bad. I think he won't move to Mars unless, yeah, I would say SpaceX has an Elon filter, or they play nice while the boss is there, and then it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, yeah, exactly, Walt. Okay, I'm gonna go take a different tact here. I'm gonna try to find something else. Web assembly and go. See if there's a better tutorial out there for these things. Because those three, I don't know why they're so garbage, but okay, so. Well, and to be fair, with SpaceX, he has a lot of government oversight. So, you know, he can say, yeah, we're going to do this, but he ultimately answers to folks that are like, you got to pass these safety requirements because you're not the one flying in this shit. So, you know, the last thing we want is a SpaceX explosion of 5 astronauts on the pad on your Spaceship One that's going to set the space race back a decade and a half. So there's people at SpaceX that are like, good boy, give us $1 billion. Now you go sit over in the corner and, you know, tweet your shit out. So there are legitimate folks doing that. Well, I mean, to be fair, Twitter doesn't have the same oversight as something like space. The government's doing a lot of things, but they're not fucking around with space. So, all right. So I'm going to. I'm going to start over because I don't know any other way of doing this. And I'm going to start package main import. We know about FMT. We learned about it a lot earlier in our other tutorials. And now func main. Oh, by the way, if you want to follow along, this is Golang bot. I don't know what that is. It might be a Discord bot, but I don't know exactly what Golang bot is. But we'll find out eventually. I'm must be popular and my comments about Elon are legitimate or something. People are actually watching the show. I apologize for you watching some middle-aged white dude try to learn Go in his spare time, but you know, we all have to start somewhere, I guess. Thankfully, this isn't my regular job, or I'd be on the bread line, you know, fairly damn quickly, I think. But yeah, okay, so let's cross-compile the above Go program. Yeah, all right, we've already said Goose and Go Arch, so we'll just, you know, go-o json.wasm again. So I've always wanted to order the Golang bot, but I always chicken out at the last second and get the pho. Oh yeah. Very, very nice. Yeah. I always get the spicy pho instead of the Golang bot. Yeah. I think you can get Golang bot at the Bellevue food court there, Arcano 64. If you want to come and hang out. I know Age of Music. All right. Yeah. Control Shift Tick. Yeah. I'm learning all my shortcuts again. CD. All right. So we need Okay, and then go build and JSON.wasm. Okay, that's a new one. Wasm. Age. Thank you, Age. I figured people pick their handles for reasons, so you know it's like, you know, I wait for them to tell me what their nickname is instead of their full handle. You can just call me Brian. Yeah, that'll work. You can call me Tim. Greetings, Tim the Enchanter. Oh, very cool. All right. What kind of music, Age? I've done lo-fi for the longest time, but then I started listening to the synthwave stuff, and it's pretty nice. Call me Nighthawk. I've got a Nighthawk router over here at Digital Warhead. Run, you know, you try to compile this in the terminal. It cannot execute exec. We'll get the above error. The binary is a WASM binary. It's supposed to be ran inside a browser sandbox. Oh, okay. The Mac and Linux OSs don't understand the format of the binary, hence we get this error. Here's the JavaScript glue. So we've already copied WASM exec.js. All right, so then we get our Not you again. Look, I've just started getting cool again. What? What do you want? Oh my goodness. It's horrendous. Okay, so we have the wasm exec.js. We have the index.html, so it's a much simpler index.html. So we have a const go WebAssembly instantiate streaming. We're gonna fetch json.wasm. Okay, that's way simpler. Go run and then result instance. Okay, so we've gone away from the hello world bit, and all we're going to tell it to do is say go WebAssembly. So we're going to create an executable that will, when we click the button, say go WebAssembly, or hello world in this case. All right, so this is how everything should be set up. We have our in our assets, which in this case for us is our directory structure. We have our json.wasm, which actually this is what this should be called. So let me rename that to JSON. Did I not do something? Oh, Python cannot find main module but found get.oh. Interesting. Okay. This is where you're like, oh yeah, you should have watched things run. Cannot find the main module but found get.config in. Alright, let me try this. Well, this has been a day, hasn't it? Where's my terminal? Oh, there it is. Bing. All right, so cd. Oh, that's because I called it Jason Wasm. I should have renamed this to. I'm going to close that real quick. Rename this to Jason.wasm. Interesting how it wanted that named as Jason Wasm to begin with. So, find main module. Oh. I've done a lot of stuff. The most recent group I'm working with is kind of like some Dangerous Leonard Cohen type stuff. Oh, wow. All right. Very nice. If you've got a Bandcamp or something, just, please feel, or, YouTube channel, knock it out here. I don't have a problem with that. Maybe we can highlight your music on our stream. Works for me. This is really weird. Way to go, mod. Oh, interesting. So I want you to go mod init. When did this get written? This is October 2022. Okay, so this is the latest version that we have so far. Really interesting how everybody has like 15 different ways of doing something. Okay. So I did that, and this will create a Go module named GitHub Golang bot WebAssembly. Create a file called main.go, following contents inside. Okay, so all right, so this is rename main.go. This is also what happens when you mix multiple systems together. Windows.business. Official Windows business music site. Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. Okay. Window business music site. Interesting. Okay, so I had to create a main.go. Obviously, mixing tutorials together will sometimes cause you all sorts of issues. So, you almost have to start again at, step one on if you go into a new tutorial. So, there may be some house cleaning I'm going to have to do here when this goes, because I have multiple mains inside of here. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know why Go PLS is not able to find modules in my workspace. 1 second. Rebootion is the solution. Let me see if I can reboot it and it will find the... What the fuck? Sorry. Part of buying a house means that the owners, or the people who want to buy the house, want to do a final walkthrough of the system, and they have changed the time on us to where I don't know if that's going to be feasible for us. And, obviously they think they can do that because it's like, well, we're going to buy your house. So try to run this. Okay. JavaScript Blue. All right. So I need to, okay. So this is the Go mod. So the Go mod that we asked for, or that we did, is going to pull in Golang bot WebAssembly, as we saw here. So module go.120.3. So it's reset those. So it's going to pull down this Golang bot WebAssembly, and it's going to run these things. That may be some stuff that was missing in those original tutorials that we didn't have before. So we created a file called main.go with following contents inside. So this is the main package main, import fmt, func main, print go WebAssembly. We called it main.go. We're going to cross compile it into WebAssembly. So I need to put goes, JS, GoArch in the right places. Okay. History restored. Good. That's important. Yeah. And then on a goose. All right. Clean that up a little bit. And then we're going to let's see. Don't. Okay, I did that. All right, so now we need to do JSON.wasm, which is where's the JSON.wasm? They swear there's a ... assets, but I did not see one of those in our system here. Greetings, hello, wasm.exec. Yeah, I don't think that worked either. Oi. Did I miss? It says welcome to tutorial number 1, but where the hell is the wasm file? There's main.go. There's no JSON.wasm. Maybe when I go init, then it pulls down the JSON.wasm file, but I didn't get that when I ran that command, so that's interesting. Yeah, see, all the assets are in the different directories. Assets, command. Oh. Okay. Deleted. When in doubt, rip it out. I'm pruning the tree or something. You know what? WebAssembly is definitely something. I just don't know what it is yet. I'm sure it's terribly, terribly interesting. And needs definitely more discussion from me. Yeah, I almost want to just stick to the stuff in the go.dev from now on and get rid of anything that has to do with tutorials. I'm hoping that the go.dev devs who have built their shite does a better job here. So let me see. Documentation. There's a number of different things in here. Writing web applications. They talk about WASM in here at all. There's the net HTTP package. Basic web understandings. All right, so let me do a search. All right, site go.dev web assembly. Go. Anybody here use Go at work and may actually use WebAssembly? WASM by example. It may be that we don't learn WebAssembly today. I'm just setting, expectations that may not be a thing. First, we should install Go. Yeah, create a main.go file. All right, so we created the main.go file with some functions in it. Let's compile main.go into a WASM module. All the cool kids use it. I haven't bit that apple yet. They all use WebAssembly or they all use Go? Or a bit of both? By the way, at Lo-Fi Girl, it's our music today. Oh, Go. Okay. Yeah, I've told people who've watched the stream before everyone found it. It is the, at least some news story said that it is the new language for malware writers, because it's, as we've seen, it's super easy to cross-compile across Linux, Mac OS, Windows, what have you, and it doesn't need any additional overhead. And because of its size, as we saw with the Hello World that we, turned from 56 bits to 1.2 meg, and this may no longer be the case, but that was what was quoted in the story. Larger executables normally don't throw up the red flags on their EDRs than, a small, 478 kilobyte file or something like that. The larger executables have been known to be a way of bypassing some of the EDR stuff. Before I start down the definition of insanity, trying to do yet another WebAssembly, hello world kind of shite, what advantage does Go have over Python? It's quicker to say, has less syllables. Nah, I'm kidding. Don't leave me, people. Don't leave me, viewers. When I was trying to learn Python way back in old-timey days, at the time, you had to have a Python executable on a computer to actually run a compiled Python binary. Or at least that's what I remember. And you needed additional stuff to be able to compile Python binaries. Now, like I said, times change. Compile or cross-compile. There we go. Since we're pretty much yeah. So here's the go-to on how to do a go-to. Oh wow, they're even talking about Python 2.7. This is from 2 years ago. Python cross-compile. Let's see. Yeah, see, I'm not sure if this is entirely correct, but it does say that, being able to cross-compile, you have to have CMake and a bunch of other stuff on there. You have to have 3 different tool chains, right? Or you have to have 3 different ways of compiling the source. You have to have the tool chain that works for Mac and OS, or Mac and Linux. You have to have the one for Windows, and I guess Mac OS and Linux and Windows. So you'd have to have potentially 3 different compilers that could compile those things in Python. And here's, of course, a virtual environment for cross-compiling Python modules. So yeah, it's been a minute, but yeah, if you're talking performance issues, I don't know if Python is any faster versus Go. It's fast performance and efficient use of resources. So according to Django stars, they say, so Vadim Zatkovinko, who's a team lead and software architect. Python is my main language for 10 years. As a devoted Python developer, different languages over time. I like to learn new languages, even ones I won't use or like Ruby or Java. Getting to know Go, yes, step 1. Concurrency in Go, methods. Let's get down. Here we go. So they're showing he's showing examples of how fast things are versus how performant it is. Python.bold versus Python in Redis, or Go.bold and Python in Redis. You can do 2,000, roughly 3x the speed. 71,000 requests in 30 seconds versus 24,000 requests. I'm assuming 2 pieces of code that do the exact same thing, and one is more performant than the other. So, looks like there is some kind of change here. So Go.Redis is just as fast as Go.bolt versus Python. All of these are from work that's been working with 12 threads and 400 connections for 30 seconds. The numbers are the total amount for all the threads, not just one. Python, the application I wrote in Python ran with the help of Unicorn. There's just so many different terms and different things out there. I mean, it's like, I thought it was bad just having a ton of, different Linuxes to use and figure out which Linuxes to use, but it's like there's so many. It's like everybody has just fractured the full stack, like what Age said. I don't care about what's in the shit in the middle. I care about the top and bottom, right? Bun person. So yeah. So they swear this person swears is known for fast performance and efficient use of resources. It's compiled, which means the code is translated to machine readable code before it's executed, resulting in faster execution. So Go is compiled before it's ran. Python is not. And that may be why it's more performant. So yeah. Python is the better for blockchain development than Golang due to its ease of use, readability, and developed community. So once Go develops its community, you lose that positive from Python. I'd argue readability isn't necessarily a positive or negative. Some people can read Python better than Go, and I would say all of these things can go away once the idea of Go being used for blockchain development, if that's your bag, could go away. So I mean, it's still pretty even, right? I mean, the only difference might be performance. Go might have less maturity in terms of libraries or what have you. So it does say Python has a rich set of libraries and frameworks that support blockchain development. So its simplicity and flexibility is good for prototyping and testing ideas. It's good for high performance, high concurrency web applications. So if you're worried about resiliency, Go may be the thing you want to use, right? So, Go and Python in 2023 for AI apps. Ooh. Both Go have strengths and weaknesses. Go is known for... Okay, so he basically said the same thing over again. Performance and concurrency, low latency. Python has a vast ecosystem of libraries and frameworks for machine learning and data science. So it sounds like Go is only behind in some respects because of its number of users and libraries. If you want already established libraries and dependencies and frameworks, you would want to use Python, but knowing that there's a performance hit. So it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for performance, you're going to have to probably do a little more work and build your own libraries and framework and what have you. But, and again, it really depends on what you want there, Mr. Warhead. I'm sorry, Nighthawk. And there's, of course, you go look at Python versus Go, not just for performance purposes, but I'll hear somebody saying why we would switch from Python to Go. This was in 2021 during the pandemic. So, that was fun. That was fun times. March 3rd, 2021. Performance. Language performance matters. Okay, so an API provider powering feeds into chat platform for 700 companies and 500,000 end users. Optimizing Cassandra, Postgres, Redis, but once you reach the limits of the language you're using, Python is great, but performance is sluggish for use cases. So there you go. So yeah. How I start Go tutorial. So maybe I went about this the wrong way, and I know that a lot of you are like learning Go here. Maybe WebAssembly wasn't the right thing to talk about today. Maybe we should have gone back and learned some other stuff that was actually on Go's site about like things like not just data structures, because we've already learned a lot of that stuff, but there's other tutorials where like fuzzing or creating a module. We've done that one. Multi-module workspaces, a RESTful API. See, that would be a perfect one to do, because I love me some APIs, I tell you. Anyway, Gin. So Gin framework. Let's go look at Gin. Gin is an HTTP web framework written in Golang. Features a Martini-like API, because I know what the hell a Martini-like API is, unless it's got a lot of olives in it or something. Maybe. I've seen people make something already made before just to understand the correlations. Yeah. Ideally, Age of Music, if I was doing this right, it would be like a cooking show. It's like, oh, we're gonna mix everything together, and I'm gonna pop this into a pan. And I'm gonna stick it into the oven, and you're like, oh, before the show, I created another pan. And here's a perfectly decorated cake and everything like that, and everybody's all happy, and everybody wins. I did not do that. So yeah, there's definitely room for improvement. Age of Music. I'm definitely a bit chagrined here on how not easy the WebAssembly tutorials were for the 4 pages that we found for these things. So, this will glean insights from code segments. So everybody learns different. Yeah. Well, so yeah, you're learning how to not do a stream today on learning Go. I appreciate that, Age of Music. There's a lot going on here with the different web frameworks. So this is Gin is an entire framework written. What's a Martini-like API? I don't know what that is. It sounds terribly impressive. What fails me on documentation like this is when they say this, and you're like, what does that mean? And it's like you're gonna have to go look up the smart parts because, what's a Martini-like API? Okay, so they're just so they're equating themselves to Martini, but if you don't know what Martini is, then that example means nothing to you. And Martini in this case is a powerful package for quickly writing modular web applications and services in Golang. Okay, so it's a Martini-like API would be a modular interface, very similar in function and method. So sorry, Age. Yeah, yeah. So you have, after installing Go and set up your path, your first .go file, we'll call it server.go, package main, Go Martini, then you're gonna do your func world, and okay, install the Martini package, Go 1.1 is or greater is what have it. Okay, so since I yanked out the code that I was doing earlier, let me go back to Golang tutorial. New folder, RESTful API. All right, so we will clear. Anybody see the Picard finale or season 3 finale last night? I'm not going to be that person to be like, oh my God, you've got to go see it. But in terms of me, 12-year-old me was happy. If that's the last season of Picard that's going to happen. 12-year-old me, that was pretty much like I tweeted out. That was a love letter to 12-year-old me on how everything ended. So, I'm not gonna. Hello. That's my wife. All right, so, I don't need to install Martini. I'm gonna go back and learn the other one. So let's see, close that, close the WASM stuff because WASM is whack. So, all right, I'll let Age. I'll let my wife know. You said hey. Yeah. I've been trying to get her to come in and do more stuff on the stream, but she's of those people. The person is like, why do I need to come in and do that? Nobody wants to listen to me, discuss stuff. So, let me see, where are we at? Okay, about another 15 minutes. All right, so go.dev. This tutorial introduced the basics of writing a RESTful API with Go and Gin web framework. Get the most out of this, you'll need basic familiarity with Go and its tooling. I would say I have basic familiarity with Go and its tooling. Gin simplifies many coding tasks associated with building web apps, including web services. In this tutorial, you use Gin to route requests, in this case, get, post, put, delete, all of the HTTP verb actions. Retrieve requests, so there's the gets, and marshal JSON for responses. Okay, in this tutorial, you'll build a RESTful with 2 endpoints, Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nighthawk. I like Dog and Nighthawk. Yeah, there you go. Example repository above data about vintage jazz records. Hey, we got a music theme here, Age. There you go. The tutorial includes the following sections: designing the endpoints, creating a folder for your code, creating the data, writing a handler to add a new item. Oh, we've already done this. We've already done some of this. We have done this. I just don't remember using Gin for this. This is really weird. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we did all this. Yeah, I just don't remember using Gin. I've slept since then, so interesting. Yeah, because, yeah, Sarah Vaughan, John Coltrane, yeah, we created all of these. And at the bottom, yeah, it was like we're adding things. Wow, boy. Yeah, okay, so I created a RESTful API. Why do I not have that in here? Oh, wait. Weird. Okay. Huh, interesting. What was the, okay, so, well, buzzing, writing web applications. Yeah, okay. Looks like we're gonna create a wiki. All right, so what we're gonna do is, I love you all, and I wanna make sure that we start with a clean slate. We're not getting confused. WASM, for me, is not ready for work, and I'm not exactly sure why I would wanna run an executable inside the sandbox on Chrome. It sounds like that's a recipe for disaster, or for Firefox. So I'm going to, we're going to forego the WebAssembly thing. We can keep it up. You've just learned a way to not do WebAssembly in this case, in here. So, but yeah, I'm going to go and get the weekend ready, and I think I'm going to go and make sure that we've got a lot of stuff going. So, Age, the one titled, the RESTful API one, I think I did that one already. I remember doing a bunch of coding for, double check, but I seem to remember doing all of those things. Unless I did another tutorial on like Tutorial Edge that was basically the same thing as go.dev, but yeah, it's really, really odd and off here. So, yeah. So, we've done 2 streams earlier this week. On Sunday night, we talked to Joe Gray about how to use and abuse ChatGPT. You can check those out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com, because I think that they've probably gone off of the Twitch site. And it's more than 24 hours, so as you can see, I listen to a lot of, lo-fi and stuff like that, but it was a good discussion with Joe. Joe's always good. People, if you're interested in hearing about his work with OSINT and ChatGPT and how to abuse it, I think we had some fun with that. Let me see, there we go. And also we talked with Lindsay Wolf about insider threat investigations. You can get a copy link for that. Go check that. And these are a couple of good content, and we had a good time talking with Lindsay on insider threat. Is sometimes something as simple as going in and finding out you have like 4,000 licenses of Adobe and only 50 people use it. So some of it is cost-cutting measures or cost-saving measures to make sure that you're not overbuying and making it so it's easier for people to say use your software in ways that it's not supposed to be used. So it was an interesting discussion. I was pleasantly surprised to hear that it's not just all about trying to out people about doing things, because we also talked about side gig work people who are quiet quitting, which actually is not quiet quitting. It's just we're making better use of our time. So yeah, go check those out. Otherwise, have a good day, good weekend, and I'll be back on Tuesday, just before my flight on Wednesday. And yeah, hope everyone has a good weekend. And yeah, take care. See you later. Bye, y'all.